All right, guys, how y'all doing today? So I thought I would do a HD video. This is my 2019 GMC Canyon, the V6 engine. And my issue was that last night as I was driving home, I noticed that the temperature gauge was stuck at 160. Now 160 is basically like zero, like it's not heating up at all. I noticed that when I was driving already, so I continued my drive home. When I got home, I heard that the fan was on, even though the gauge was all the way down. Like if it was freezing the vehicle, the fan was running. I turned off the vehicle, the fan's still running. So I went ahead, I went online, I read some things, and they told me that could be the thermostat, that it was stuck open. So they told me that I could just unplug the positive terminal on the battery and for 10 seconds, and then when I plug it in, it should go back to normal. And so I followed those instructions, and actually it did work. It did work. My gauge went back to working normal, my temperature gauge, and all that. I went for a ride and everything. But because I read that the problem kept arising, like some people took 2 weeks, some people took 2 months, I said, you know what, let me just buy the thermostat and just try to fix it myself here. So if you hear wind, I'm sorry, I'm outside. But I'm gonna try to edit this the best I can so it won't be so long. But what I have right now is I have this. This is an 8mm. You can also use this type 8mm. I also have a 10mm. And then I have this with a long, as you can see, long extension right on it. And there's some screws that you have to take off. You have to definitely take off this cover. There's a screw right in here. I think there's one out back somewhere. Got to take this off. And I'll try to go through it with y'all the best that I can. Don't mind the wind, please. So let's start. And again, I'm gonna be editing the video, so I'm gonna be cutting parts just so it won't be so long. But you can see now I got a 10mm. This is a 10mm with the extension, and this is to go down here into the hole. So we're gonna go in there. So we got that screw out. Gonna put it up in here. This one right in here, it's like a little hole. I can't really see it good, but I got it. This one's smaller, as you can see, so you got to remember that. Okay, we got to take this one, 8mm, right here in the intake. Fortunately, I couldn't find a cup 8mm, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna use this. I couldn't find a cup 8mm. Okay, so there's another one out back here. Let me move it over just to show you. Hopefully you guys can see. There's another one right down there. Hopefully y'all can see it right down there. So you got to take that one off also. All right. Now we do have a swivel arm. Okay, that's gonna be needed when you get to the thermostat area. Apparently you're gonna need this. Apparently we have to take every clamp out. We have a clamp in there. You'll probably see that one in there. And then we have the small, let me make sure I show you. We have this clamp we need to take off. And we have this clamp right here. And then there should be a thing in there, like a hard plastic hose. You got to take that off too. All right, so we're gonna do that now. So we got the top out. Now I'm gonna show you what's the next steps here. Okay, so we see this clamp right here. This has to come out completely. Wow, those are bigger, so those look like 14 or 16mm. And then we're gonna try to take this off completely. This part here, take it out completely. It's gonna drain some coolant. And then the thermostat should be right in here. We will have to go somehow through the top. It's very hard to get in there. I don't even think you guys can see it. The thing is in there. There's one and then another one somewhere around here, which we got to figure out. But you guys have the idea. So we're gonna go try not to take that out completely. We're gonna take it out completely, and then we'll come back when we got it out. But you guys have the idea what you gotta use. Don't forget, swivel arm. Swivel arm is definitely gonna be useful for in here. Okay, that's the reason why I got this. All right, so we're gonna go try it now. And this is how the engine looks, in case anybody's wondering how the engine looks. This is how it looks in there. So to change spark plugs in this thing, you got to take this whole thing out to take out the spark plugs for this side. That's why it always makes it hard on the V6s, because there's always it's not the intake, I forget what you call this, but that's always covering one side of the head. So that will be simple by just lifting this out, but this side you got to take that whole part off to get to the spark plugs. All right, so we'll be back. All right, my people, so it got a little bit complicated. Just want to let you know, try to have a short one of these, a short 10 millimeter, all right? Because this wasn't helping me when I got to the inner bolt there. It was hell to get to that bolt, even with the little swivel arm here, all right? So have a short, a real short 10 millimeter, all right? Like real short, all right? That's gonna help you. I didn't have one, so I had to use the next best thing, the best that I could. I tried to use a little bit of the 3/8. I was scared that I was gonna mess the thing on this, the head. So I used that, and then this actually helped me a little bit. This helped me a little bit because I was able to get in through like the bottom and just crack it loose just enough where then I could use this one, which is a 3/8. You know, it's a little bit bigger, but it was loose. It got that loose enough where I could just put that in there through the top, you know, through the top to up here, and then just take the whole thing out. We're about to put the new one in, man, but this bolt down here was a little tough for me in there. That's the old one. I don't know. It says it was getting stuck open. It looks a little bit dirty in there and all that. I don't know the whole mechanism, but I'm just gonna change it. We'll see what happens. This is the new one, as you can see. All right, so now we're gonna put it back. And like I said, hopefully you guys remember the little tools. I didn't need all this. It's just the fact that I kept looking for more tools as the problem arose. But yeah, 10 millimeter, a 10 millimeter, an 8 millimeter, a flathead if you want a flathead screwdriver, this swivel little arm. You're gonna need a course extension and your ratchet, and that should do it. So all right, I'm gonna put this baby back together. Oh, and there's gonna be a lot of goo. See how there's still goo in there? I couldn't get all of it out, but I scraped as much as I could in there, and it feels pretty good to me. Maybe I pray to God, man. I can't get as hard. It's very, very narrow in there, so it's hard, but I scraped it enough where it doesn't feel that dirty. I'll pass one more time with the shirt. Whoops, sorry about the camera. And then we'll go from there. Then I'll put it back and we'll see how it goes, guys. All right. Sorry, you probably didn't get a good view because it's right in there. So as you can see, it's a lot of nuts and things in there and leaves. So after I'm done, I'm gonna try to pressure wash it at some point. And this dark thing that kept coming out, no matter what, I would clean it. It was always dark. I think it's actually from there, man. I think it was actually leaking some antifreeze somehow there, man. But the dealer said they never saw nothing. They never, you know. Well, I don't know. I'll just clean it back up. I'll pray to God everything is smooth. I'll clean this a little bit more now, and we'll see what happens. All right, so I pray to God, people. Like I said, I did it myself. It's not so easy to go in there and clean that. So I'm gonna spray around a little bit I know I got the carb and choke. I was gonna get the brake cleaner, same thing though. I'm just gonna spray it around until I could take it to the car wash or something. For now, I just want to get some of this off. Hopefully it'll dry out. We'll give it some time to dry out. We just want to clean it a little bit. It's super dirty in there. You see the dirt coming out of there. I always clean this, and like I said, it always gets dirty right there, that whole area. As you can see now, it's getting clean again, but like I tell you, the whole area always gets nasty. I don't know why. We'll give it time so it could dry out. I shouldn't be putting on the belt, but so I cleaned it up again a little bit in there. We'll give it some time to dry out, maybe 20 minutes. I'm gonna put everything back, turn on the truck, and God willing, we'll go from there, man. But I put everything back where it went. I put this in there real tight. It's real tight. Hopefully got a real close seal. We'll see. I think the coolant though might be a little contaminated because I touched it, so I don't know. At some point I'll have to go do a coolant flush, and I gotta add more coolant to that. So we're gonna do all that. It's drying, as you can see. It's drying out quick, and I gotta wash it. I'm gonna have to wash it, and we'll go from there. So this is the last take I'm gonna take. We're gonna try it out. I put everything back by the grace of God. See, the thing is working, the temperature gauge, so here we go. And we're gonna go up front. I added more coolant. All right. It's making well, that's the normal GM exhaust valve. Sounds so loud. Hopefully I didn't wet nothing, but I added more coolant there. I'm sure once the thermostat opens, it's gonna suck all that right in. Went down. Far so good. I just wanna make sure there's no leak in there. It's hard to see if there's anything, man, but I see that dark spot right there. See that dark spot? But again, that's just probably because it was dirty earlier. I don't think it's leaking, but we'll definitely find out soon enough. If it is, then I'm gonna have to take it to the dealer after all, you know. I did my best, I cleaned it the best I can, so we'll see now. We'll just wait for the thermostat to open. And I'm gonna touch that up right there. Was the thermostat open, and that's all, guys. So I hope you have an idea how to go about it if you want to do it yourself.